All right, guys, we're back. The final week of Supercoach 2022, and it was a great week. Um, honestly had one of the best weekends I've had, maybe my whole life. Um, Not all Supercoach related; it's just a mixture of things. 25-12, the score, which was great. I expected a lot worse. Coming in off like Friday and Saturday and stuff like that, I didn't expect too good a score, but yeah, 25-12. I'll take that. Final week of the season. Um, Went up in rank. Did not expect that. If you asked me Thursday if I was going up in rank, I would have said, nah, it's probably going down. Finished, mid 6,000s. Gives a bit of room for next year. Next year, I guess at minimum, I want to be in the top 5K. That means this is the best finish I've had in, like, to say 4 years of been playing Supercoach, roughly 4 years. Yeah, this is good. Obviously, could have been better. Aiming for top 1K to top 2K next year. Kind of just, gradual improvement, right? That's how it goes. And 2 league wins. Yeah, brought out the LeBron jersey for a reason. Just the GOAT. It's what it is. Yeah, what a weekend it was. Yeah, once this loads up. Also, if I sound terrible, like my voice is it feels like it feels gone. It's because I was at the Kiss concert last night, and I was screaming until all hours of the night. So, yeah, if I sound like shit, it is what it is. Sinclair, Sicily, Doherty, amazing. Stewart, I thought wasn't actually that good for his 106. He wasn't really that good, but I mean, it was a Geelong flogging of West Coast, right? So I didn't expect like a 150 out of him. I'll put it that way. Sinclair was pretty good. I thought he was a little underscored. I just caught bits and pieces of this game. So like I said, I was at the Kiss concert. This is kind of just stuff I saw like while I was in line waiting to go in. Sicily was good. This one I was able to catch a bit off just before I left, and just in the car. Sicily was fine. Probably one of the main reasons I won the 2 grand final games I had this week. And Doherty, this was definitely like maybe game of the year. Probably like when you look at all the stakes involved, Carlton's spot in the top 8, Collingwood's spot in the top 4, 100,000 at the 100,000 tickets sold. Maybe there was about, say, 85,000 at the MCG. Above that, but let's just say that. Just an amazing game. Down 20, they come back, win by a point. This amazing game. That's the type of game that gets you really pumped for finals. I seriously think after that, after the momentum Collingwood's got, they're a serious chance to beat Geelong. Serious chance. They're going to be coming in with so much momentum. Short had one of, I think this is like back-to-back good weeks from him, but still. He's under 100 average, so it's tough to tell what his price will be. It'll probably be in the 500s. I think this is a stay away pick. I don't really like it anymore. I mean, say you don't start him and he comes out next year and he scores really good. He's not going to be that expensive. You can bring him in, right? So I don't think this is a person you can start anymore. Same with Crisp. Probably worse off for Cripps because just he's I don't know. I think Dacos has like super just impacted Crisp. Sometimes they both have good games, but I'd say more times than not, it's one of the two will have a good game. And Dacos looks like a star, by the way. I like watching him. D'Ambrosio played, didn't really I knew SM were going to lose. I didn't know it was going to be by this much, and I wish it wasn't, because all week I've been vehemently against what they've done to their coach, Ben Rutten. Is he Rutten or Ratton? Uh, I hate how there's two coaches with the damn. They got the same name. It is what it is. Yeah, I just think public humiliation of a coach 1 week before the season ends isn't the way to run a any organization, whether it be like a company, Target or something like that, or a sports team in the US, in England, in Australia, no matter where it is. It's just not a professional way to go about it. 1 week away from the off season as well. Why not make the decision then? When the team's done, there's no emotions that they have to ride into the next game because there is no next game. It's the end of the season. I just think this was a terrible way to go about it. It was super desperate for Clarkson, which they knew they weren't getting. But yeah, into the midfield. Laird 133. He was good. Always is. Probably starting him next year. He's too good. Unless Adelaide would have to sign, like every good mid in the comp for me to move off Laird. Even then, I'd still probably pick him. This is probably the midfield for next year. Laird, Oliver, Took. Laird's skill-wise super good. He loves his stat padding. Oliver, I mean, he's always I think the majority of the rest of his career, he's going to be in Brownlow contention. And then Tukamelo's just work rate, getting around the ground. Team heavily relies on him. That's kind of just because Gold Coast aren't that good still. They're getting better. And I think next year will be their best shot at making the 8 with Ben King back. These three, fun to watch. They're just really skillful with the ball, skillful without the ball. Yeah, these three, they're a step above everyone. Neil can be in that bracket. It's just these last couple of weeks, he's shown that if Brisbane's form is like super down, he can also come down. But I do think Neil is also hampered by the coaching. I don't think Fagan is too good a coach, especially when they're playing St Kilda and he moves Neil up full forward. I don't care if there's a tag. Neil's a Brownlow level player. You keep him in his position. You move someone else to try and get rid of that tag. You bring down or bring up a Zorko. Zorko's not good. I think he's on the back legs of his career, and his legs aren't any good. Bring him in, bump someone. Get the tag off Neil, even just for a couple of seconds, so Neil can get into the stoppage, get the ball. I think that's kind of just Fagan, which is holding up Neil's score, especially the last couple of games where it's been pretty clear that, to put it in computer terms, a CPU is bottlenecked by how good your graphics card is. And it's also vice versa. Your graphics card, you can have the best one on the planet. Neil is one of the best footballers in the league. He's won the Brownlow, he's proved it. He's bottlenecked by bad coaching. Yeah, is what it is. Fagan's definitely out next year, so it'll be interesting to see who they bring in and whether it's like a midfield guru coach or whatever. Cripps was good. Again, game of the round. I did expect this. I expected a little bit larger. I actually expected around a 150 just because Cripps knows the moment. He's one of those type of players. But probably one of the big things I'm taking away from Cripps this year is the whole meme of Shaq saying, I didn't know your game. Apologies. I'm not used to your game. I've got to give it up for Cripps. I've been calling him Patrick Cripps forever, saying he's washed up, saying that he's nowhere near what he used to be. And then this year, this is a good year. 111 average. I call Merritt a good mid, and Cripps is basically the same. A 1 point difference. I don't really care about. Petrarca, I do think, is one of the best mids in the comp. I think he has the potential to be the most impactful mid in the comp. More than Dusty now. Dusty's just age has caught up with him. Just not saying he's washed or anything. Just age has caught up. He gets injured a bit more now. They're the same average. Again, 1 point, and that's even with that 1 point difference is with this spell here where Carlton had no ruck and Cripps was second ruck for the team. So Yeah, apologies to Cripps. I wasn't familiar with your game. Next year, depending on his price, I'll have a look at him. Probably not picking him though, just because there's so many other good players. It'd be the first time I'm not picking him because there's so many others, instead of I'm not picking him because there's no way I want him. That's probably a good way to put it. Merit, I don't think I spoke about Petrarca. Petrarca was good. It's just there was no reason for Petrarca Oliver to go even near 100% when they were up like 60. They were almost up 100 at one point, so yeah, it is what it is. Merit was good. Did expect this. Okay, so this was the captaincy this week. Started on Laird, took it off. Put it on Merit, took it off. Had it on Cripps for a minute because I thought, could be a big game. Took it off. Went to match my opponent, who then changed it to Cripps, and put it on McRae. Ended up getting the lowest score. So that teaches me never just go with your gut. Like if I took Laird 130, that's fine. Above a 125 is a good captaincy score. Obviously, you want the largest one, but you take what you can get. Owens was good. Interesting to see what happens with him next year. It's interesting to see what happens with the whole Saints as a whole. That team is so stagnant. Like, there's no way for them to get better. They're in this cycle of rely on Max King. And we've seen that there is factual evidence that Max King is not a consistent player. Factual evidence that he isn't. So he's not someone you can rely upon. Unlike, say LeBron, who every year is going to give you the same everything. He's going to be near a triple-double average. He's never done a triple-double average, but he's going to be around close to it, give you, at worst, 27 and 7, which is good. You need consistent players to build your team around. I think Steele is that guy, but they haven't embraced him. Even though they've made him captain, I think they're still building around Max King instead of Steele. I think that's the issue. Media will come out and say that you have to build around a tall forward. I don't think that's true anymore. Look at Melbourne. Melbourne have not built around a tall forward. They're built around a ruck and mids, and it's worked for them. Hell, even like Richmond didn't build around a forward. They didn't build around Jack Riewoldt. They haven't built around Tom Lynch. They built around Dusty. They built around the defense. We're in a different era. You don't build around a tall forward anymore. Geelong's probably the only one that's worked with, and that's because they have like all the good veteran players that just know how to make it work. Witts and Darcy, pretty disappointing. But the big news for the Rucks, I shouldn't say big news, it comes off as a bit like, negative. Rowan Marshall is going to be playing solo ruck next year, as far as we know, because Paddy Ryder's retiring. Paddy Ryder obviously had a good career. I've only really caught the back nine of it. But yeah, I don't want to sound any negative towards Paddy Ryder. He's a great player. He had a great servant to St Kilda, to all the teams he's played for. It's just I'm happy that for Supercoach, strictly for Supercoach, I'm not talking about person versus person. Rowan Marshall is a ruck forward, but he's solo rucking. He's R1 next year. It's seen in the past that he can be better than Gawn at rucking if he's a solo ruck. We'll wait and see, because they could make a signing in the off-season. They could draft someone and be just hard stuck on this duo ruck thing. Into the forwards, Bont was good. It was down in Tassie. This is why I didn't... Originally, I did not want to captain McRae, but just because it's down in Tassie, it's wet, it's cold. Actually, I don't think the game was too wet, but it's cold down there. It's just not a great game for mids. I don't think historically mids have scored good in Tassie, but I'd have to check that. Bont, Dunkley, good. Dunkley was the best of them. Heaney was great again. I mean, it was against St Kilda. St Kilda aren't amazing, but if we look at Heaney's 3-round average of 115, let's round up. 5-round average of 111. Look at this. Yeah, it hasn't missed the ton since round 17. This is prime Heaney. Issue. He's relying on goals. Let's be honest. All right, he kicks 2 a game. It gets him to 100 because he gets 2 goals, 1 behind, 17 to 20 touches, a couple of marks, a couple of contested touches. That carries him to 100. He's very plain in that sense. It's the same thing every game, which is good. But also, if he, instead of kicking 2 goals, he has 3 behinds, it's just that kills the score. That's why he's at a 1 or 2 average and not 110. I still think Heaney is not a bad option for Supercoach. I think he might be a bit better in fantasy. I'm not a professional on their scoring and stuff like that. Parker was good. Proved that, as a midfielder he can score, as a forward he can score. If he keeps forward next year, you probably do want to consider picking him. Cog's off game, but he's shown that he's pretty good now. Next year it just comes down to, do you want a GWS player? They're known to be inconsistent, known to have injury problems, known to have role problems. I will say that a lot of it has been cleared up with McVeigh in coaching, or they fired him and then put in a caretaker coach. But there are some issues still there. Wait and see, I reckon. I think it's a good rule of thumb. Never pick GWS players in your starting team. Always trade them in. Actually, you could probably say the opposite. They start them, and if they're no good, trade them out before round 3. But I mean, if you trade them in, you've got a better sample size. Say you trade them in round 7, round 8, you'll have 7-8 rounds sample size. You with a normal coach in that's not going to swap the magnets every week. You probably know what they're going to be doing. English was good. He's calmed down in the second half of the year. First half he was pretty good. He was probably clearly F1, Ruck 1 level. This injury really hurt him, I reckon. He came at 160 versus West Coast, but there was no Ruckman there. I reckon next year it's a wait and see on English. The only issue with doing that is you'd have to bring him in here. Because he will, if he starts the season on fire again, he's going to jump back up to 520k. It was at 600k here. I actually went over it. I think I brought him in at 600k. Did I? No way. I think I brought him in at this price. I'd have to go back and check, but I hope I didn't. Either later this week or next week, I'll do a video going over the trades I did this year. Tim English will be a big one. The Rucks will as well, but that will be another thing. We'll just go over the trades I made, kind of grade them a little bit, see if they were good or they were bad. And it kind of just, I can take some notes, video notes on what I can do next year. Everyone plays this to be good at it. So if you can do something that makes you a little bit better, why not? So traded out Crisp. I think everyone's off the Crisp train. I don't think anyone's going to pick him next year. But anyway, just again, for video notes, just want to put this in. Won both leagues. Not bad for me, honestly. Sure, it's padding out the video. How long are we going? We're already at 20 minutes. Whatever. Feel free to click off now. How can I check the scores? The ladders here. So we go to round 7. Yep. Can't I see it? Oh, it's on game day, that's why. Go to leagues. Head to head. Round 7. I was down in the bottom 3. That's insane. Yeah, I think if I go round 8, I'm bottom 2. Am I? No, I think it's round 7 is when I start to pick up. Yeah, round 6, I'm bottom 2. Sure, okay, it's 1, it's 1-3, whatever. This was not looking good. Ended up winning the grand final. So if you've ever needed reason to, not give up on Supercoach, even if your team's bad, you can trade your way out of a bad situation. It's definitely possible. I'm, living proof of it. But yeah. See you all next time. This is it for Supercoach 2022. But like I said, I'll be making videos on kind of like a review of the season style. But yeah, hope you all had a fun year following Supercoach. Yeah, see you all next year. Tasty out.